Hi everyone, it's Natalie, and today I have some cool indie eyeshadows to try from a brand I've never tried before. So it's a first impressions, first time, first everything. These are from a brand called Devinah. They're kind of an OG in the indie beauty singles space, but I just never tried it before, I guess. I think they were kind of known for doing like darker, more moody shadows, but they've branched out a lot, and darker eyeshadows are not kind of my favorite. I prefer these kinds of tones. I got like one that kind of is darker. I haven't swatched them yet or anything, so we'll do swatches first and then we'll do the eye look. I already have my base on and I have a video on how I do that, and I'll just put everything in the description anyway if you're curious. So I picked up, this was from their sale. They had like a 4th of July sale, I guess. I picked up 2 mattes because I've heard good things about their mattes. Plus, these are really interesting colors. I've been looking for a really true gray. I have kind of a collection going on right now of matte grays that are like this kind of like really cool tone. Like I'm just looking for these kind of really cool tone grays. And then I just got shimmers in a variety of finishes. This one in the middle kind of went like viral recently and it just looked super gorgeous to me. So we'll swatch all of them. The first matte is that almost like silver undertoned gray, this really interesting light gray. It's called Gaia. Ooh, these have like a really like silky, but like I can like feel a little bit of something to them. Like that's a very promising kind of swatch. Not like powdery to the touch, like nice and grippy, but still very silky. Where should I swatch them? I'll just swatch on the back of my hand. Ooh, okay. I feel like it darkened a little on contact with my skin, but if I put another layer on, you see that light shade kind of coming through. It looks a little bit, like when I bring it up close, I feel like that's not what it looks like in person. It looks more like that. And just to show you like the texture on my finger. The next matte is this kind of like plummy berry called Lucius. This one really interested me because it's like a muted berry with a lot of purple to it. I feel like a lot of time berries, which I do like a berry, but they just look too red on me. And that's like, I'd much rather have a purple. Like I love purples. And ooh, that's definitely really promising. It's a very smoky purple. And we'll just do it there. Wow, that one's so smooth and buttery, it's crazy. It's kind of smoothed out some of the extra pigment. Yeah, that's really nice. They have like a silky and dry yet like grippy feeling to them. Yeah, you can see it kind of has more of a berry overall, but with the like purple undertone. So that's really pretty. I feel like the closest kind of berry is this one from the Pat McGrath Bridgerton palette. You can just see how much more red is in that, and that's just not my favorite kind of color. Like it's on me that just ends up looking red, even though in the pan they look very similar, and maybe on someone with a different skin tone they might look more similar, but you can just see how much more red there is in that. By the way, I don't know if you can hear that sound. It's the cicadas outside. There's like one in the tree. There's one in the tree like right outside my window that just loves to like pop off. Next for the shimmers, I feel like that's why everyone's here is the shimmers. The first one, this one, I'm actually really curious how this is gonna swatch. This one's called Lucent Ray, and I looked at so many swatches of it, and it's just really hard to get an idea what it looks like. Ooh, okay, it's a little bit like gritty to touch, and I mean you can tell like it's a little flaky in the pan, but it's not dry at all. But it's also not like, is it squishy? I wouldn't say it's squishy. It's kind of just like has some emollients to it, and that is how I like my shadows. I'm gonna swatch them here. Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. So you can see that it has that kind of darker plummy base to it, but then this gorgeous like purple toned silver metallic on top. It's so foiled and sparkly. I love that. For dupes, the first thing that comes to my mind like finish wise is the metallics from Terra, but they don't have a color that's like this. All the metallics from Terra that are this like foiled finish are like very neutral. There isn't something that's like purple like this. And then from C Beauty, I have this Juicy eyeshadow in D127. This is like a way like a drier kind of feel. It is a similar sort of formula to touch, but a little bit drier. I think it'll probably have a similar finish, yeah. But when I got this Juicy shadow, I kind of thought it was going to be more like this one down here, but it has a much more pink base. You can see it's a lot more just like pink and lighter. But they are both that like really sparkly foiled effect, like a very similar finish. The next shade, this one in the middle, is called Lightning Moss. It's the new one from, I'm pretty sure, their newest collection. And I saw lots of swatches on it online and I was just like, wow, that's gorgeous. Ooh, that's a totally different texture than the other one. It's incredibly smooth. Wow, it's like silky. That's crazy. And then on my finger, look at that. It looks like a completely smooth metallic surface. That's wild. I've like never really seen an eyeshadow that does that before. It's so shiny, I can see myself in my finger, like. Okay, let's swatch her. Okay, wow. Oh my god. I really don't feel like I picked up that much, and it's like there's so much. There's so much eyeshadow on me right now. This could keep swatching for days. Like, I don't feel like I picked up nearly that much at all. And I just got like the pigment. There's a lot of pigment happening here, but that's amazing. It's so shiny and reflective. It isn't like sparkly and textured like these kinds are. It's just like really, really metallic and foiled, just like so foiled. The shade is really interesting. It's kind of somewhere between a gold and a silver, but with this green, sagey green kind of undertone. And I can't quite like, it's not a multi-chrome shift. It's just because the shine is so like shifty, like with colors just surrounding it. Like when I turn it towards this lamp that I have here, which is more of a warm tone lamp, it just catches like the gold. And when I turn it towards the natural light, it catches the white. So it's just kind of like whatever sort of light is hitting on it. So shiny. But yeah, it has this beautiful green undertone. The last shade is called Offshore Mist, and it's just this beautiful green, and you know I can't resist a beautiful green. This one has more of like a classic like eyeshadow texture. Like I feel like I've felt this texture from like some of Terra Moon's duochromes and stuff. Just that more like almost like soft fluffy kind of texture. The kind of thing that's going to be like scattered sparkles, I think. Yeah, it's really pretty. It has a sheer kind of quality to it, but it has this really like soft, nice multi-chrome shift. Like it shifts from the lime green to the more like blue green, which is really pretty. And I'm pretty sure it was only $8 with like not on sale or anything, which is such a good price for something that's like nice and shifty like this. Wow, I love the shade of green. And yeah, it just has like a nice, like fine particle size sparkle. I really like that. I felt like doing just a little bit of a comparison for that Lightning Moss shade. This is Caesium from Terra, and it is one of their like foiled metallic type shades, which I love. But you can just see how it doesn't create that like smooth effect on the finger. It is just sort of a different, slightly piecier texture. And then Caesium is kind of the one that is like the green undertone gold, but you can see how just it's like looks like so yellow gold next to these greens. Like the green, almost like gray silver aspect of this really comes out when compared to Caesium. Even though it's really metallic and sparkly, it just doesn't have that like, there's like one extra notch of foiled happening with this Lightning Moss. Those mattes washed off really nicely. No staining from the purpley one, which is surprising in a good way. And then obviously all of these, I like rarely get staining from a shimmer, but yeah, if there was gonna be staining, it would have showed up on me. So yeah, no staining, which is good. I don't really like staining because I don't use the eyeshadow base. I'm gonna start, this is a Rephr 01. It's kind of my favorite like big blending brush. I'm gonna start with that matte Gaia and just kind of put it in the high part of the crease. I think depending on how deep it looks on my skin tone, I might bring it all the way into the inner corner. I might not. This is really nice. It's not like picking up too much or anything. There's like ever so lightly like a normal amount of pigment in the pan, not like dusty at all. I'm just blending it into this like inner third, but not really like taking it in, just blending the edge. And then making sure to blend the edge up here. The lighting is just being weird for no reason, so like I'm sorry. I like how it blended out, like it's so smoothly blended out, but where I packed it on, it just looks like a little bit textured, but only on this eye, not on this eye. So it's like, I don't know. I probably have to play with it a little more just because of that. That kind of like textural thing is just something that happens with pastels. I do actually want to try the darker matte Lucius just because of that. Ooh, weirdly, this one's more powdery than the other one, which I wouldn't expect. I'd expect something with white pigment in it to be a little powdery. Picking up redly, I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. Is blending out okay. It's not the easiest blend in my life, although I am blending it into a pastel, so like that's something to know. I'm not doing the easiest thing with these eyeshadows right now. The parts where it isn't blending into the pastel just look like really nice and airbrushed. And honestly, it's not patchy at all. It just is like textured. I think it's doing it now. It just needs a little love. That's really pretty. I really like how it became even more purpley once it got in contact with the gray. It takes a little bit of work, but like once you do it, it looks really nice. I still think the pastel gray is doing like a weird texture on this eyelid. I'll have to investigate that later. Otherwise, I'm happy with this. I like never would have usually paired this. I had like barely any fallout just right on this cheek, but I didn't tap off my brush, so yeah, I like typically wouldn't have thought of pairing this, but I really like it. This is one of those looks that's like neutral adjacent. Maybe not for normies, but I like that it's like very vampy, but not like too much. It's not like giving too much. Weirdly, I think like any of the shimmers would have worked with this look, maybe not the bright green. I might use the lightning moss shade just because that was so interesting, although I feel like the lucent ray shade would just like be so perfect. Let's use both. Like, what am I doing? Let's use both. Okay, I'm gonna use the lucent ray shade. I'm picking up barely any on my finger just because it's quite textured. I should put on a glitter glue, but I'm not going to, so. This finish-wise reminds me so much of the Juicy shadow. I do a little bit of like large glitter piece fallout. I mean, I'm just kind of blending this out with my finger, so it's like, am I doing the best thing that I should be doing? Absolutely not. I even feel like the way it looks on my finger is exactly how the Juicy shadow looks on my finger after I'm done with it. I kept that to kind of like the outer half of my lid, and then I'm gonna use the lightning moss shade on the inner part of my lid. Once again, I'm picking up so little because this was like weirdly pigmented. That's very contrasty because the plums really bring out the kind of like green undertone in this. I'm gonna put a little bit of this lightning moss shade on my lower lash line. I kind of got it everywhere. I maybe should have used a brush for that like portion of the application. but I didn't. So there's that. But you can really see it's just like so, like the metallicness of it just makes it so vibrant and light catching. This is the Tower 28 mascara, which is just my go-to mascara. This is my third tube of it. I got mascara fallout, which is like, who gets mascara fallout? It's just not my day. The glitter fallout, for as like really intensely sparkly as that Lucent Ray shade is, and like that I didn't use a glitter glue, there's barely any. There's like maybe like 5 specks total, and it's like, I don't really care. I don't know what blush to pair with this look because it's kind of all over the place. Weirdly, I know I kind of shit on this blush, the RM Beauty one, in opening night because it's like too pigmented and the color wasn't mauve enough for me. Because it's been like summery, I've been using it so much. I know, what was I doing? I've been using it so much because it's warm. It's a little bit of like a rosy tone, so it's nice in the sun. And I still feel the way about the packaging where it's like I nick this like nipple every time. Like I've cleaned off the inside of that packaging so many times. And yeah, I use this brush with literally every cream blush. The Fui ones, the Unleashia one, this. But this is how I do it because obviously it's just so pigmented. There's really nothing that I would suggest swiping on your face, but this one's too pigmented for even like swirling with the brush. So I literally like I tap it with the brush, and this eye look is like pretty cool toned. It is summer. So it's so summer. I'm very warm right now and the AC is on, so it's like it's summering. That's like the smallest amount of that product. If you're the kind of person that's like, I want one product that's gonna last me a lifetime, that REM blush. There's just so much of it. Okay, now when it comes to highlighter, there's actually so many highlighters I'm liking right now. The Glossier, this one, Future Dew Solid. This is kind of just like an oil with a really like imperceptible amount of shimmer to it, so it's nice for like catching the light. But I'm kind of feeling sweaty. Also for cream, I have loved this Fui Sugar Powder one. This one, oh, this one's really pretty. I kind of want to use it. I kind of want to use it, but it's also kind of the same situation where it's like if I'm sweaty, it's not good. If I've been wanting something smooth, I've just been using the Natasha. This one's very like shiny, but it's also very smooth. So it's like if you don't want little like glitters, and it has a little bit of a deep base for me, so I apply it more like down here. Like I applied barely any and it's just like a light glow, but you can apply so much of that and it's like, that would be a lot. I have every gloss from Fui that I got sent in PR over the course of several months, which is kind of insane. The one that's my favorite is this current 30%. So I think I'll just do this one because it's a really sheer like purple. It's not really purple, it's like a purple undertoned berry. These taste like melted gushers or like fruit roll-ups, like the rainbow fruit roll-ups, which are kind of the same thing, aren't they? Aren't gushers and fruit roll-ups the same thing? There's the look. I'm really happy with this eye look actually, and I mean, is an indie brand gonna fuck it up? No. And I feel like with like the shimmers on top of that light matte Gaia, like you can't see the thing that I was talking about anymore. I like settled in almost a little, and the blend is really nice. I feel like it took me a little bit of work to get there, but the blend is very, very pretty, and like the shimmers are shimmering. Like you can't fuck up a shimmer. You can't. And I didn't even use that much of them. I could have like glitter glued and like thickly like when I swatched, and that would have been like a look, like sort of like metallic foil all over look, but I was just feeling more like classic matte with a shimmer today. Let's look at it in the natural lighting. I feel like in the natural lighting you can really see how the gray color of Gaia is just this beautiful ever so like one hint of blue to it that gives it that almost silver kind of gray effect. Yeah, the shimmers, the one right here, I love the way that blended. I mean, the way those, for a royally dark matte like that to blend into basically a pastel, like sort of a deep pastel, like the Gaia shade, because it definitely has some white pigment in it, is like, yeah, that's really like beautiful and seamless. So I really like those mattes actually, which is surprising because at first I was kind of iffy. For the shimmer, this lightning moth shade is kind of everything. I feel like it's so bright. It's just so bright and intense. I feel like I could pair it with greens and it would be really beautiful. I could pair it with a lot of things. It's very versatile because it has that sort of sagey undertone. And then the Lucent Ray shade, it's just so textured. I mean, you can tell side by side that they have a totally different texture. I feel like because that Lucent Ray like doesn't belong in the outer corner, but it's there. So, but yeah, you can see it has that really like twinkly texture, and I feel like I want to apply that again another time where it's kind of the star of the show, so that I can put some glue down and really get that color out of the base. But for how like really twinkly sparkly it is, there wasn't, I mean, there's barely any fallout. I didn't really whisk it away or anything, and I think I saw maybe like one sparkle on my cheek just now, two. So with indie brands, you can't go wrong. I've been shopping pretty much exclusively from indie brands all year, I want to say. Oh, and this lip gloss from Fui, it's just really juicy and like not sticky. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.